between beast and warrior is blurred. An ancient tribe lived in peace until the sky fell. They thought they were the ultimate predators. They were wrong. 3 months ago, the village of the Leopard-kin was a sanctuary of snow and fire. We see a warrior, a hybrid of human beauty and feline. Ferocity, living a life of honor. But the tranquility is shattered by a sound that chills the bone. A swarm of monstrous insectoid invaders descends like a plague upon the ice. The air fills with the scent of iron and smoke. These aren't just animals. They are killing machines. Our protagonist watches in horror as her brothers and sisters are torn apart. The cinematic camera captures the chaos, the desperate roars, the clashing of spears against alien armor. The Leopard-kin fight with the fury of 1,000 suns. But for every monster they slay, 10 more emerge from the shadows. Just when she thought the nightmare couldn't get worse, the realization hit. She was the last one left, hiding in the ruins of her home. She witnesses the true depravity of the invaders forced into a corner. She makes a choice: die in a cage or risk everything for freedom. In a heart-pounding sequence, she sprints through the burning remains of her world, leaping from a frozen cliff into the icy depths below. She survives the fall, but her spirit is broken until she sees the smoke on the horizon. The sorrow in her eyes transforms into something cold, something ancient. We see her mourning, her hands stained with the blood of her kin. But as she looks at the glowing energy coursing through her veins, we realize she isn't just a survivor. She is a weapon. They took her home. They took her family. Now she's coming to take their lives. The scene shifts to the present. The Leopard Queen stands before the alien horde. But she is no longer the girl who ran. She is armored in glowing bioorganic, tech wielding a massive, energy-infused blade that screams for vengeance. With a single glare of her glowing red eyes, she charges. The hunt has officially begun. In a world frozen by eternal winter, one hunter becomes the hunted. But she didn't know that her greatest protector wouldn't be a sword, but a secret hidden within a dying man's heart. The story begins with a feline warrior, a creature of pure agility and lethal grace, perched high above the snowy wastes. She's tracking a monster, a massive armored beast made of ice and rock. With a single leap, the hunt is on. She strikes with the precision of a predator. But this beast is no easy kill. It's a relentless juggernaut of power, and every time she lands a blow, the monster seems to hit back twice as hard just as the creature prepares for a final crushing blow. The tide turns. The feline warrior isn't alone. An old man, scarred by time and replaced by machinery, watches from the shadows. With a single calculated strike, they bring the beast down. But there's no time for celebration. The silence of the tundra is about to be broken by a roar that echoes through the mountains suddenly. The horizon shifts. One monster becomes 10, then 50, then 1,000. A massive horde of alien predators, vicious, multi-eyed nightmares, is descending from the peaks. They are trapped. No way out, no place to hide. Our duo prepares for the end. The old man ignites a glowing energy blade from his cybernetic arm, while the warrior unsheathes her twin daggers. What follows is a dance of death. They are a blur of steel and light amidst a sea of monsters. But even with their skills, the numbers are overwhelming. The pile of bodies grows high, yet the horde is endless, just when they thought they could hold them off. The nightmare becomes even worse. The feline warrior is pinned, her strength fading. The old man sees the light leaving her eyes and makes a choice that will change everything forever. Kid, listen to me. This is the last thing I can do for you. With those words, he begins a forbidden ritual. He's not just fighting. He's transferring his very life force. His cybernetic arm surges with a blinding blue energy, a power so intense it begins to crack his own stony skin. He's giving her the strength to survive, but at the cost of his own existence as he withers away, turning into cold, lifeless stone. She is reborn in a surge of lightning. The warrior screams as the power of a dying legend flows through her veins. But as the smoke clears, the realization hits her harder than any blow. Her protector is gone. The old man's final words, "Just live," echo in the freezing wind as his body shatters into 1,000 pieces, drifting into the void. She stands alone atop a mountain of monsters, empowered by a ghost, destined to carry his legacy into a world that wants her dead. In the end, he didn't just save her life. He gave her a reason to fight. In a world where the weak are mere sport for monsters, a dying girl is about to make a choice. that will change the fate of the frozen wastes forever. But she had no idea that her savior was just as broken as she was. Deep in the icy canyons, a lone Leopard-kin woman kneels by the shore, her body battered and bloodied. She's reached her limit. Suddenly the water erupts. A hulking cybernetic beast with rows of razor-sharp teeth lunges from the depths. It's a predator built for one thing: annihilation. Just as it prepares to deliver the final blow, a mysterious beam of blue energy strikes. The monster is driven back, and out of the shadows steps a figure even more terrifying: an ancient Orc Cyborg. A relic of a war long forgotten, the Orc doesn't finish her off. Instead, he offers a hand. "Are you okay?" he asks, his voice like grinding stone. He points toward the towering mountains, his shelter. They trek through a landscape of jagged ice and deep crevasses until they reach a massive stone gate, sealed by ancient technology. With a flick of his cybernetic arm, the Orc transforms his hand into a key, unlocking a hidden sanctuary filled with weapons and secrets. Inside the warmth of the cave, the Orc offers her food and a chance to survive. But the girl is haunted. She looks at him and asks the one question burning in her mind. "Why did you save me?" The Orc pauses, his eyes reflecting a deep, unspoken pain. He touches a medallion on the wall, a symbol of a lost life. Because even back then, he whispers, "I couldn't save a single kid." He isn't just a warrior. He's a man seeking redemption for a past he can't escape. But survival isn't a gift, it's earned. The Orc begins a brutal training regimen. 1 month passes. The girl is clumsy, her movements fueled by fear. She falls again and again under the weight of the Orc's mechanical strength. She's exhausted, her spirit nearly broken. But every time she falls, she looks into the eyes of her mentor and sees the world that discarded her. She stops fighting like a victim and starts fighting like a predator. 3 months later, the girl is gone. In her place stands a lethal leopard warrior. Her movements are a blur of fur and steel. She parries the Orc's heavy blows with lightning speed, her daggers finding every opening in his armor. In a final intense clash, she pins his blade. The Orc looks at her, not with anger, but with pride. "You're ready," he says. "Go hunt." Just when they thought the nightmare was over, it was actually just beginning. She steps out into the snow, no longer the prey, but the ultimate hunter. What happened next changed everything forever. The wastes are cold, but her vengeance, that's going to be much colder. In a world ruled by biological nightmares, being weak is a death sentence. But for this dying Leopard-kin, an encounter with a legendary cyborg is about to turn the prey into the ultimate predator. The story begins in the frozen wastes, where a battered leopard girl is cornered by a horrific aquatic beast. Just as the end draws near, a mysterious Orc Cyborg intervenes, wielding a blade of pure energy. He doesn't kill her, he saves her, bringing her to his high-tech mountain sanctuary. The Orc reveals a heavy truth. He failed to save a child in his past, and he won't let history repeat itself. The Orc begins a brutal 3-month training regimen. We see her struggle through blood and bone until her movements become a blur of lethal precision. She isn't just a warrior anymore, she is a force of nature, outfitted in bioluminescent armor and wielding gears of war-style serrated blades. She infiltrates a dark hive to face a terrifying multi-eyed titan. Just when they thought she was safe, the nightmare escalated. Facing an army of shadow beasts, she summons a ring of spectral blades, slicing through the darkness with a fury the wastes have never seen. But her true purpose? It wasn't just killing. Deep in the hive, she finds a tiny caged dragon. In a final emotional moment, the apex predator shows mercy, proving that while her body is a weapon, her soul remains unbroken.